Okay, y'all ready?
So.
All right.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Inflicted torture.
That's what it is.
All right, let's stack arms.
Good weather.
Yeah, perfect.
Stack.
We're stacking arms. This goes right in the middle. Yeah, this is it. Right. We had a couple of traders that were playing union.
Yeah.
Lift. Pumpkin, you want to go back here. It's got to be square. Right, the back knees up close to your foot. There you go.
Hello, stranger.
There it is. There it is. Grab the leaner, put it on. You got a leaner?
Get on the side of your
I didn't know that this made union.
Would everyone please stand for the posting of the colors, please? Thank you for attending the Friends of Dumont Hills Civil War Living History Weekend and the dedication ceremony for this beautiful park. Beginning early this century with a successful effort by the Allen County Historical Society and the late Rosemary Harper to list this land on the National Registry of Historic Places, the dream fostered by numerous civic-minded individuals has come to fruition, though there's still more to do. The 68-acre tract you see now was once teeming with men, artillery, and animals, all far from home and sacrificing their time and blood to hold together a nation that was trying to tear itself apart. Some gave all on this very ground on which we stand, and you will soon hear their names for the first time on this ground in 151 years. For now, I will name some of the key supporters of this project as groups or individuals, and there are many more than time will permit me to name today. You may applaud as you wish. The Laura Goad Turner Charitable Foundation and the Dugas Family Foundation for the financial support that has made so much of this project possible, beginning with the acquisition of the property in 2005. Our first executive director for the Friends of Dumont Hill after we formed in 2006, Ms. Mary Garnett Ritchie, whose diligent work in so many regards, including our application to become a federally recognized 501c3 nonprofit organization, has laid the groundwork for our continued community, business, and individual support. And to City Clerk Gail Davis, our current executive director, whose solid work as director and secretary has kept us on track and been a valuable assistance in securing our grants. To former Heart of Scottsville executive directors Roe Elam and Heath Seymour and their successor, Jamie Bowler, for their work. To community planner Gary Mathis, who's been a tireless worker on this project, and to all of our current and former Friends of Dumont Hill board members. If you are a member, please come forward to be recognized, current or former. Starting from the left is Gail Davis, Jolene Cooper, President of the Allen County Historical Society, Miss Mary Garnett Ritchie, Linda Klein, Dr. Katie Aljo, Western Kentucky University, Community Planner Gary Mathis, Marietta Napier, retired teacher and terrific historian, Janet Johnson, Extension Agent for Family and Consumer Sciences, Chris Carter, who works for the City of Westmoreland, is one of our principal reenactors, his wife Mary, and Mr. Larry Joe Downing, our holy man for the day. And tomorrow for the worship service as well, if you want to, you're welcome to join us for that. That's 11 a.m. And to former member Ron Orange, whose expertise and connections within the reenacting community have been invaluable in bringing attention and, by consequence, public support for our cause. To all of our reenactors and units for the same reason and for their devotion to teaching history in a way that no one can easily forget. Al and Carrie Barman, whose outstanding work as trailblazers has given Scottsville and Allen County the beautiful 3-mile system of walking trails that our park and interconnecting YMCA trails now encompass. And a special salute to landowner Elmer Harp, whose permission and an easement made our partnership with the YMCA possible to create that trail system. My friend and employer at the Citizen Times, Mr. Robert Pitchford III, who's been an exemplary donor to this project in numerous ways, from the cost of moving our new cabin in place that you'll see to our left if you take the trail up there, to copy work, and today sponsoring President Lincoln. Mayor Rob Klein, the Scottsville City Council, and the hard work of the City of Scottsville employees and police, all of whom have been invaluable in their assistance, work, and support, and the County of Allen for its heavy mowing services that we have to do every year for maintenance. The Allen County Historical Society, now under the leadership of President Jolene Cooper, continues to be a friend and ally to us. Major donors like Tri-County Electric for the electrical work that you see for the front floodlights, all donated this year. Larkin Ritter of Scott and Ritter of Bowling Green, he was the donor of our new log cabin. And individual donors like John and Jane Newman and Jim Seeker Sr. and our sponsors today, whose names appear on our programs that you maybe, if you'd like, you can pick up in the map house over there. I would also like to thank our current and former state legislators for their support and contributions at the state level, including former State Representative Rob Wilkie and State Senator Richie Sanders, who's now Allen County's Economic Development Director, and their successors, Senator David Givens and State Representative Wilson Stone, who I will now welcome to speak.
Thank you very much, Matt, and let me begin by thanking Matt Pettigo for all the work he has done to make this project come to this point. And I know that we have come so far, but I know there are still things to do. Also, you know, this is a project that just glistens with sweat equity. You know, a lot of those folks donated things and gave money, and a lot of folks worked really hard for us to be able to be here today and to have this commemoration of part of Scottsville and Allen County's history. A very, very important part of our history that maybe we haven't shined the light as brightly on in the past as we should have. I want to just relate just a little bit of the impression that I've had over the last 5 or 6 years. When I managed to be elected to the House of Representatives and go to Frankfurt in the wintertime, I rented a house. And I rented that house sort of sight unseen, and I rented that house without owning a television and not having access to a television there the first week or two. But in that house there was one book, and that book was I forget exactly what the title of it is, but I believe it's 500 biographies that were significant in the Civil War. So I read that book because I had time to do so. But my impression from those 500 men and women, young and old, Abe Lincoln on down, President Lincoln on down, really sealed in my mind two things that I want to just mention to you today because I think they are important to us today. The first thing was that every one of those 500 people, and I don't know whether it's equally divided between North and South. I really haven't counted. They're in alphabetical order, and it didn't matter to whom their allegiance was. But all of those people thought they were doing the right thing. They thought that they were sacrificing for the good of the country, is what they thought, even if they saw the country in a different light than their neighbor did. And then, and really interesting, I really have enjoyed it, and I just have memories of, and I go back, it's still really the only, I do have a television now, so it's probably now make less valuable use of my time maybe than I did when I was reading that book. But all of those people made contributions to the war and to this country. But the second thing, I think, is probably the more important reflection that I have from that book. It is so important that we study history, that we know why people did what they did, why and when they did it, and what the legacy was of their actions. Because if we don't study history, certainly as someone else has said a long time ago, we are condemned to repeat it, even the mistakes of history. So I think as we listen and watch too much television and listen to too much radio today, maybe, we see that we're not all on the same page and not all wishing the same things for this country, and that's because of our democracy, not a bad thing, but we certainly need to be able to check that with reason and with a memory of the Civil War, when this country almost went away because of people of strong values on both sides could not come together without bloodshed. So, Matt, again, we thank you and all of the committee and all those folks you've mentioned, and maybe even others who've helped make this place of commemoration and in some ways celebration live for us in Scottsville and Allen County, and hopefully it will help all of us and these young people who are here everywhere as they learn history and do their part in making this country a better place. Thanks again.
Senator David Givens couldn't be here today, but he offered the following Senate citation. To all whom these presents shall come, greetings. Know ye that Dumont Hill Park is recognized and honored as it celebrates with the Friends of Dumont Hill Civil War Living History Weekend and Park dedication. Inasmuch as this beloved Kentucky asset continues to provide an environment of pristine natural beauty, while offering visitors the daily enjoyment of a wide array of amenities and opportunities for recreation and entertainment, Dumont Hill Park is recognized for its continued service to its grateful visitors, to the citizens of Scottsville, Allen County, and this Commonwealth, and has extended best wishes for many future years of success and good fortune. On the motion of Senator David P. Givens, is hereby deemed by this honorable body worthy of recognition. Done in Frankfurt this first day of November in the year 2013. I now welcome Mayor Rob Klein.
I'm honored to go first. I told Judge Hobby I was expecting him to go first, but he'll fill in, okay? My wife asked me this morning, Mayor, what are you going to say? I said, I have the slightest idea, but I always speak from the heart. I was mayor when Miss Laura Jo Dugas had a vision because of her 3 sons that played over here on this hill, growing up across the creek over there or whatever. She purchased this land, and it was deeded to the city of Scottsville. The next thing came along was the Dumont Hill Committee. And let me think and stop at this moment right now. Matt Pettigo, I thank you, because there's no way I could keep up this morning without those notes, and I don't ever use the notes of the people that's worked hard over here and that you've used this morning. But there's one thing that kind of sticks out in my mind. As I was mayor, and this has came about, and the Dumont Hill Committee was formed, and they've gone forward. But I was also honored by working with Miss Rosemary Harper. And anything that happens over here, her name needs to be mentioned, Mary Garnett. I think you will see where I'm coming from there. And I'm very proud of this. We've had a lot of people through the Dumont Hill Committee and other individuals that's gone forward over here. We're very proud as the mayor, city council. I know I've seen Dr. Marcus here. I don't worry of any other council member. But we have gone forward in making this what it is because to make it better for our community. Laura Jo had that vision. And we're working very hard to continue that vision. And we are going to do it. Now let's go on a little further. We're over here dedicating this morning, but also we're here today for the reenactment. And Matt, you and Mr. Carter and all those people that's taken active forming this, you'll be complimented of what we've gone. We've had the largest, I think, group we've had over here since we've had it, but that's still part of this community, and that's what makes us proud. Let me thank each and every one of you for being here today. We've come back with some great weather, and there will be a reenactment on the down at the City County Building this afternoon at 3 o'clock. You're all welcome to come. And is anyone else I've missed or whatever, you always see when we have something going on here or whatever, you'll see 1 or 2 guys with those beautiful jackets I make them wear over there, but they're here to help, and I always want to thank you fellas in the city of Scottsville and you work for us that gets these things done. Thank you very much for being here.
I now welcome to the podium Allen Judge Executive Johnny Hobdy.
Thank you, Matt. Certainly want to echo the sentiments of those that have made this possible. Certainly Laura Jo and her family, who have done so many things for our community, and certainly set in motion the ability for us to purchase this land and come to the point where we are today. But, you know, it was funny sitting here that, you know, most of the projects we incur have to have huge buildings and a lot of indoor facilities and a lot of things. And it's just wonderful to sit here today and think about enjoying what the good Lord's blessed us with, and just this outdoors here and the beautiful land and stuff that the Lord has blessed us with. And doesn't always take a huge building or gymnasiums or some kind of facility to enjoy activities, and certainly we're blessed with this great facility we have here. You know, I was thinking this morning and about coming over, and one of my grandsons called and he said, Paul, said, I'd like to go. So we've been studying history in school, and certainly I'm interested in that. So it just made me even more understand the beauty and the history behind this facility. And so hopefully when years to come for him and all those here today will continue to enjoy this. Allen County is rapidly approaching a 200-year anniversary, 2015, and certainly facilities like this will play a major part in what we all hope to do in celebrating those 200 years. But again, thank you to those that have provided the labor and the planning and the financial support to make this facility what it is. And certainly it's a great blessing and an opportunity for us to enjoy for the folks of Scottsville and Allen County. Thank you very much.
Our next speaker, as a state senator, attended some of our very first organizational meetings. He's now our economic development director. Please welcome Mr. Richie Sanders.
Thank you, Matt. I want to thank everyone for being here. Especially, we also want to thank all of our out-of-town guests, the reenactors that are coming from far and wide. And you know, you look back at this project, and it's like so many other things that happen in Scottsville and Allen County. people work at it every day, and even when we had the setback a couple years ago when the cabin burned here, everyone rallied around and figured out a way, and I think Matt's come up with actually probably a better project than we had before. And but that's a testament to the people here, and on so many projects. You know, if you look at the downtown, and I know that Rosemary Harper was involved in that, you know, and the mayor and the judge, and you know, you take one quadrant at a time, and you know, you come back up here every little bit, and you see more improvements, and that's a testament to the people here and the dedication that they have to preserving history. I have my daughter with me today, and she's she loves history. Normally, her mom tells me, says my only job, Matt, is to make sure that she stays alive. So I told her that I was inviting her to that she might have to die today. But I'd like for my daughter, Brooke Elizabeth, to come forward, and she is going to, because I'm very proud of her, she's going to cite the Gettysburg Address. So.
Fourscore and 7 years ago, our fathers brought forth upon this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure. We are met on the great battlefield of that war to dedicate a portion of that field to those who here gave their lives so that that nation might live. It is only fitting and proper that we should do this. But in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. For the brave men, living and dead, have gone far above our poor power to add or detract. It is for us, the living, rather to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they have thus far so nobly advanced. And we should give our full devotion to that cause for which they gave that last full minute of devotion, so that those who here died shall not have died in vain, that this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom, that this government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. Thank you.
She may be a hard act to follow, but I have a man here that I think has drafted something somewhat similar to this, but a little more localized. Please welcome to the microphone Mr. Abraham Lincoln, Mr. President.
Hey, thank you. Well, before I get started, I would like to say again to Mr. Matt, thank you. If it wasn't for you, I would not be here. I appreciate that. You and the committee members and the towns of Scottsville in this area, thank you for having me here at your beautiful area. It is gorgeous. And before I get started, real quickly, as I always do, I would like to always thank vets. Without you veterans out there, we would not be able to do what all we do today. So to you veterans and those who were in wars in the past and those that are serving at present, men and women, God bless each and every one of you, and thank you with all my heart. One score and 3 years ago, the Allen County Historical Society began to bring forth national listings to this property, birthing the idea of a new park, conceived in history and hope, and dedicated to the proposition that the Allen County's Civil War history and its 2 centuries of recorded heritage can and should be revered and celebrated. The soldiers who encamped here engaged in a great civil war, settling with their blood and sacrifice the question of whether this nation, or any nation, so conceived and so dedicated, could long endure in unity. We are met today, November the 2nd, 2013, on a resting and refitting place before and between great battles of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that hallowed ground as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives, here and elsewhere, that this nation as one live on. It's altogether fitting and proper that we should do this, so that those who live today and tomorrow will remember the nobility and suffering of those who lived yesterday. But in a larger sense, we dedicate this land to the understanding of that war and to the Southern Kentucky heritage. The brave men who endured here have consecrated this far above our poor power and to interpret and or reenact. Compared to what they have done, the world may no longer remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here, and in so many Civil War sites elsewhere. It is for us, the friends of Dumont Hill, the Laura Gord Turner, and the Dugas Family Foundations, whose generosity made this possible, and the support of citizens, volunteers, and city, county, state government, rather to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they who have fought the Civil War have thus so nobly advanced. It is for them and the education of our children to continue appreciation of this great nation that we must adhere to that cause for which these warriors gave their last full measure of devotion, and that we here highly resolve that these efforts to promote the past as a mean of securing and honoring its legacy and role in our present and future shall not have been conducted in vain, and that this community under God shall always have a place to learn and understand the roots of freedom, and that in this park of the people, by the people, for the people, the memory and understanding of the significance of this ground and others shall not perish from earth. God bless each and every one of you, and God bless America.
Thank you, Mr. President. To name and recognize the men who indeed gave their last full measure of devotion on this very ground, I now welcome Larry Joe Downing.
Well, today we have come to pay homage to the 23 men who were buried here during the occupation of this area by General Dumont's troops during the Civil War. Their bones no longer reside in these hills, as they were re-entered at a later date in their final resting places. How these men died, whether it be exposure, disease, wounds received in battle, or for other unknown reasons, irregardless, they died in the service of their country and the flag of the United States of America. God rest their souls wherever their bodies rest today. There were many young men in the armies and navies of the North and South that were giving all they had, as many men in the service of this country in the many wars since have done, and not one of them who fought in them that I remember well are only history. To the younger generation, most are all but forgotten. This itself is a tragedy, as the few that remember them only remember them as a group, not as the individuals they were. Only time will tell how they will be remembered, as the ones in large places have memorials, but the small graveyards hold so many, all but forgotten men who served their country and died for it, and the great number who fought alongside of them have followed them into eternity. God be with them as time goes on. The 23 men that were interred here are individuals, and I don't know when the last time these names were read here, but they died between November 2nd, 1862 and January 29th, 1863. They are as follows: Brown, John, Company K, 98th Illinois, 11-2-62. Madden, James, Company B, 98th Illinois, 11-28-62. Price, John C., Company B, 98th Illinois, 11-29-62. Ramsey Willis, Company K, 98th Illinois, 11-27-62. Young Robert S., Company D, 98th Illinois, 12-12-62. Brian Mitchell, Company K, 102nd Illinois, 12-5-62. Kenny Orlando, Company A, 102nd Illinois, 11/20th, 62. Smith William, Company H, 102nd Illinois, 12/1, 62. Carpenter Ashley E, B, 105th Illinois, 11/30, 62. Geever Solomon, Company D, 105th Illinois, 12/5, 62. Meacham Marshall E, Company F, 105th Illinois, 11/25, 62. Coy Francis, Company B, 75th Indiana, 12/17, 62. Davison Richard, Company B, 75th Indiana, 12/12, 62. Dowell Jacob, Company A, 75th Indiana, 129, 63. Jones Henry, Company C, 75th Indiana, 15, 63. Malley Garrick, Company D, 75th Indiana, 11/13, 62. Mason William, Company K, 75th Indiana, 12/7, 62. Nelsie Abram B, Company D, 75th Indiana, 11/27, 62. Myers Samuel, Company D, 75th Indiana, 11/28, 62. Scott John A, Company D, 75th Indiana, 11/20, 62. Walker Alfred, Company A, 75th Indiana, 11/30, 62. Wilkinson Isaac, Company H, 75th Indiana, 12/12, 62. Wood Edward, Company I, 75th Indiana, 12/20, 62. And their names have been read here again, the first time they've been heard in many years. And there's another tribute to another soldier that was here. We also want to honor another soldier who did not die here, but as a 17-year-old in the 21st Illinois Infantry, Private Joshua Ross, who was camped here after the fighting in the Battle of Perryville, was shot in the chest at Stones River and died at the U.S. General Hospital in Nashville following February in 1863. His descendant, Bonnie Ross Mitter, is here today, and I'd like to ask her to step forward and be recognized. And we also want to honor all of the unnamed men who were encamped here during General Dumont's occupation of these hills, who went on to fight and for many to die on the battlefields in the Civil War, as this terrible war was to go on for 2 more years, taking with it many of the cream of the youth and leaders of the time. May God bless each and every one of them. This dedication is long overdue, and I want to thank you.
About face. Present arms. Scout salute.
And now to conclude our ceremony, our Boy Scout Troop 149 will be retiring an American flag in the proper way. It's the flag for which these men gave so much. And I would welcome to the podium Troop Leader David Hardcastle.
At this time, we're here to retire an American flag. The U.S. flag code reads, "The flag which is in such condition that it is no longer a fitting emblem for display should be destroyed in a significant way, preferably by burning." Please stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance at this time.
Present arms.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order arms.
I am Old Glory. For more than 11 score years, I've been the banner of hope and freedom for generation after generation of Americans. Born amid the flames of American fight for freedom, I am the symbol of a country that has grown from a little group of 13 colonies to a united nation of 50 sovereign states. The Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio troops who camped here under the command of General Dumont had previously seen action at Perryville, Kentucky's largest Civil War engagement, and included such men as Captain Eli Lilly, whose son would start the pharmaceutical giant we know today, and Colonel Benjamin Harrison, future President of the United States. As many as 23 Union soldiers are believed to have given their lives at this site before their units moved on to fight at the massive three-day battle at Stones River in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. These men of that time followed me bravely into battle with unwavering courage and looked upon me as a sign of the national unity they were fighting to preserve. Conflicts around the world since World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, Desert Storm, Iraq, and enduring freedom has seen the American people stay true to the values the flag represents. We should always value the sacrifices that have been made for our flag and the country it represents. Those that died prayed that their fellow citizens might enjoy the life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness which have been granted to every American as the heritage of free men. So long as men love liberty more than life itself, so long as they treasure priceless privileges bought with blood of our forefathers, I shall continue to be the enduring banner of the United States of America. And our troop would like to thank the VFW Post, the 4-H, the Cub Scouts, and the reenactors themselves for helping us retire this flag today. Not only our Union reenactors, but our Confederate color guard. Thank you.
This concludes our dedication ceremony. I want to thank everyone for coming, and feel free to stick around. This spot's not going to last very long by the radar, so stick around, enjoy the day, or come to the battle this afternoon at 3 o'clock. It'll start down there by the stop sign at the YMCA and work its way up towards Scottsville City County Building. Come back tomorrow if you like. Everything's free. We're having a period worship service at 11 a.m. All are welcome. And we'll have a battle here on the Hill at 2 p.m. tomorrow. Thank you very much.